Ciao Juventini calcio and football lovers of the world, I hope you're all doing well. Change of background, why? Because you know it, on Sunday we start with World Cup 2022, Qatar versus Ecuador in the home of Qatar, because that's where the World Cup will be held, for the people that are totally confused, because GJustjuve, a Juve channel, will speak about Qatar, and will speak about the FIFA, and will speak about the World Cup. Yes, we will. Don't worry, in the second part of the daily news that we will do, of course, every single day, we'll continue to give you your Juventinità doses. You will still be informed about Juve, and we have some great news towards the end, so remain on the channel if you want only Juve news. Skip it towards the middle. For the other people that are new and discovering, but also for the Juventini that are interested in the World Cup, we will do daily news about what is going on with the 32 teams that are qualified to World Cup 22 Qatar edition. We'll speak today's video about Ronaldo, the shocking words of yesterday in the interview with Piers Morgan. We'll speak about Di Maria, that yesterday scored a brace and an assist. Miraculously, he healed totally well. Paredes that played a lot. Spanish team, French team. We'll speak about this national team in the first part. So subscribe to the channel if you want to. If you want to support the channel, you know it, beating that algorithm with a maximum of like. We start immediately without any waiting with the first page that is not an Italian page but an international one, Portuguese paper record that said Ronaldo conta tudo. Ronaldo is telling everything, is explaining everything. Well, we have to be totally honest. Yesterday he only explained 50% of that long interview with Piers Morgan. Today the second part will be aired on television or on YouTube. You can follow it quite easily and for free. Well, yesterday he said 50%. I want to start with one thing. I don't particularly appreciate players that are speaking bad about their ex-club while in activity. So imagine a player that is still under contract with his club speaking bad about it, because he said some harsh things. Yesterday, I have to be honest, in the first part, we didn't discover a lot more than what has been teased by Piers Morgan. We already knew all the shocking words, not really something surprising or shocking. He said facts, or at least his facts, like for example, speaking about the training camps, the training facilities of Manchester United. He spoke about the players or the ex-players, his ex-friends that were speaking bad about him, and all these kind of things were already teased by Piers Morgan. So I remain a bit like, whatever. I'm not shocked about I'm not shocked and not surprised about what is confirming yesterday. I have to admit that yesterday Cristiano Ronaldo, it touched me, especially when he was speaking about his family situation. Losing one of the two babies was really hard for him, and I wish this to nobody, not even to my worst enemy, because it's one of the, if not the worst feeling for a parent. I have a son myself, 14 years old. I can't imagine what it feels. It's something really horrible. So mentally really strong. Yesterday he was really calm when talking to Piers Morgan. He was using a lot of sense of humor. He was speaking about how great looking he was, something that I can't say, for example. And he was comparing himself to Rooney about his body. Anyway, he's totally right. So did he lie yesterday? Absolutely not. He said his truth, speaking about the Manchester United situation, saying that Rangnick was someone that he doesn't know. He didn't understand why appointing him. He didn't understand his relationship with Den Haag, that lacked respect towards him. And he spoke also about his ex-teams, Real Madrid and Juventus, sorry. Speaking about his ex-team, what did he say? Well, the first thing he said, that Real Madrid and Juventus, they followed the most recent technology, speaking about the training facilities and so on and so on, even nutritionists, that Juventus and Real Madrid are miles ahead above Manchester United, because Manchester United remained in time. They remained like they were 13 years ago. Shocking news. I totally understand in a way that Manchester United is pissed off with these kind of news. Even if it's true or not, it's still really bad looking for a club like Manchester United, that historically is one of the biggest of England. Then he also continued to say that he was coached by the greatest, he said, Zidane, Ancelotti, Mourinho, Fernando Santos, he won the Euro 2016, but also he admitted that Allegri was one of the best coaches of the world. So he said, I have experience and I learned a lot of them. Recognition towards Juventus and Real Madrid, his ex-trainers. He didn't speak about Pirlo, by the way, but he spoke about great names. So can we re-evaluate the importance of even Massimiliano Allegri. That a lot of people said he left because of Allegri. Yesterday he mentioned him, not because it was the first name that he had in mind, but it was really a lot of preparation for Ronaldo. He perfectly knew what he was saying. This is open and closing the brackets of Cristiano Ronaldo. Well, if you are continuing with Mirror Sport, they are saying we can win it, no ball. Well, are they speaking about the national team of England that said that they can win the World Cup? Absolutely not. They are speaking about another sport, darts. But then the interesting part is up when they are saying don't come back. Will Cristiano Ronaldo go back to Manchester United? I believe this is a big goodbye. Respecting the fans, but absolutely not respecting the management. They will try to find a solution. He will not come back, and I believe that the dream of Joe Smith to meet Cristiano Ronaldo while at Manchester United is gone, and you will have to be happy, I show speed, with the sosie of Cristiano Ronaldo that he met yesterday. Really funny on internet. If you didn't see it, watch it, because I show speed is really funny. Speaking about the Belgium national team with Eden Hazard, that also spoke in an interview, this time to Marca. It was a total different approach than Cristiano Ronaldo. We know Ronaldo with his ego, speaking about him and not really taking a lot of responsibility and blame about the situation. Well, Hazard took a total different approach, admitting that probably he was not good enough at the moment for Real Madrid, saying that probably he will look for another destination. That is really hard because there are better players than him at Real Madrid. Let's see if Eden Hazard can do a really beautiful World Cup with Belgium or not. I don't consider Belgium as one of the favorites. I believe they will flop, and especially if they will continue to insist with Eden Hazard that mentally he looked totally depressed. Let me know your opinion about Belgium. Do you still see them in? What about Brazil? Well, Brazilian team is still working at La Continaça in Turin. They are enjoying and they are full of beautiful words about our training center, as confirmed by Cristiano Ronaldo. But also the national team of Brazil is saying it. Yesterday they were also celebrating the birthday of Bruno Guimaraes. And then we continue with Tutto Sport that is saying Juve rimonta. Sì, sono uomini veri. Pellegrini that released a double page speaking well about Juventus and the men that they had in that team. But then we continue with the Argentinian team, Il Miracolo di Maria, the Miracle Di Maria, because yesterday he played 45 minutes, and what 45 minutes versus a team that they were looking as a partnership to play and not really with a lot of intensity. But yesterday Di Maria made a difference with two amazing goals, one after the other, and then an assist. I have to admit that I was pissed off. Actually, I was a bit jealous and pissed off because I was expecting that Di Maria with Juventus, and I have to admit that after 21 games, seeing Di Maria missing 12 out of all these games, it's a bit a pain in the ass, as well as Paredes, because Paredes played 75 minutes and it was annoying me a lot. The Argentinian manager for Qatar 22, Lionel Scaloni, is still considering changing some men before the World Cup. Guys, is Dybala at risk of not playing? Let's see, because he said some players are not at 100% and we don't know if we will still count on them. I need some players that are 100% fit. We continue with L'Equipe that is speaking about Kolo Muani, that is the new player that will join Qatar 22 with the French national team. Why? Because Nkunku is injured, unfortunately. Hopefully the injuries can stop, but unfortunately we have to speak about other ones like Jose Gaya from Spain, also him suffering an ankle injury, and he will look for potential replacement. What about the Spanish national team news? Well, Ansu Fati will be there on the field with 90 minutes, confirmed by Luis Enrique, and not only him, but he will be at the center of the project with 10 players turning around Ansu Fati. So for the World Cup of Spain, pay attention to Ansu. That can be the most important man for Spain. Young player, and he will be there. Luis Enrique that is opening a Twitch channel to speak about it. Guys, I hope Spain is doing well, because if they are flopping, it will be a disaster on Twitch. I can guarantee you that when things are going wrong on Twitch, it can be really a total disaster. We are entering the more Italian news. As you see here, unfortunately, Italy is not with the World Cup, but yesterday they played a game versus Albania and they won 3-1. Corriere dello Sport are probably exaggerating, or maybe they didn't watch the game, because they said Italia da Qatar, Italy team that deserves to be in Qatar with what they showed yesterday. Well, I have to admit that yesterday I didn't really saw an Italy that deserved to be at Qatar, because yesterday the performance versus Albania was not that great at all. At a certain moment they were really suffering. Albania, another team that is not qualified to the World Cup. Total disaster, at least for me. Of course it hurts to not be at the World Cup. And then Gazzetta dello Sport is speaking about the Mercato, because they are saying that Vicario, goalkeeper of Empoli, is the one that can be in the target of Juventus. La signora è in buone mani. Juventus is in good hands. Juventus that will try to secure Vicario already in January. Of course, he will not transfer himself immediately in January, but probably taking him and remaining on loan to Empoli until the end of the year, or even maybe 18 months loan, what Juventus already did in the past with players like Rovella and so on. Is Vicario the future goalkeeper of Juventus? I'm also waiting for your news here. For the people that are Juventini, now we are in the core of Juventinità. For the people that were watching and are not interested on Juve, guys, remain on the channel. Who knows, you can have some sympathy for Juventus. I would love that. Tell me if you're still there on the channel. Well, Juventus interested in Malo Gusto, the player of Lyon. The player of Lyon that is quite young, 19 years old, right back. Malo Gusto is a priority of Juventus because they are putting their eyes. We know that Juventus will change all their fullbacks in the summer. We know it because Cuadrado will not be renewed. Alexandro will not be renewed. Danilo that is playing more and more as a center back. De Sciglio that is a player that we can't count on him because he's always injured. So we are looking for Grimaldo, but on the right side, Malo Gusto. Malo Gusto, that means bad taste, wrong taste, bad taste. This is Malo Gusto, what it means. Half French person, half Portuguese player. Good player from Lyon. The only thing is when I see players that are playing at Lyon, and when you have to negotiate with Aulas, the president of Lyon, I never believe that this is a possibility. How many players were in contact between Lyon and Juve, and at the end they went somewhere else, especially in Bundesliga. So I don't really believe in it. Why? Because I need to see if we are able or not to buy a player from Lyon. Yesterday, leaked shirts from Juventus. We already know about the home shirts. Yesterday, away and third were out. We saw it. We already spoke about the inspiration of the away shirt with that mountain, Monte Rosa, that are represented on the shirt. We see it here with some light pink and light gray lines on the white shirts. A lot of people reacted to quite well on that shirt. It's a beautiful one, we have to admit it. It's 90% accuracy, and 90% accuracy also for the third one that goes with a really black or charcoal color, really deep one. It can be the third really black shirt in a row for Juventus with some gray, lighter gray details also there. Really beautiful shirt. Yesterday, watching a bit on Twitter and social network, I have to admit that all the people were really happy with the home, away and third shirt, and they are ready to spend all their money. Guys, who are the players that are going to Brazil from Juventus? We know it, 11 players. There will no be other players because the called up are finished. So let me know who you will support. If you are asking yourself, Beppe, what are these shirts behind you? Because they are still Juve inspired. Well, all these players are players that will go to the World Cup with Juventus, with their national team that I have the shirt from. So I don't know if you can guess them. Let me know if you guess the players that are there. But these players are going to Qatar 22. Guys, let me know what about the background. Let me know what about whatever you want to. Let me know if you like the concept of covering World Cup and Juventus in the same video. Thank you, grazie, forza, Juve and World Cup.